Hi guys, it's Thomas here from COTBase.com. Welcome to this week's Commitments of Traders review. Today we're going to have a look at the 11th COT report in 2015, and as usual we're going to start off with the changes in commercials positions, so here we go. As you may see, we've got Soybean Meal on top of our list with a 33% change in commercials positions. You can see the change size over here. We can state it's definitely a much greater change than average. It is, of course, a bullish COT change signal. I would say that the timing is still okay. So it did not come too late. We can still act on it if we decide to. Moving on to the 5 years chart, we can see the extreme situation. You may see that in relative terms, we may talk about a bullish COT extreme. And by relative terms, I mean if you look at the past roughly 2.5, 3 years time range. But on this 5 years chart, you may see we had even greater extremes in the past. I'm not saying we need to reach that level to get a bottom in price, but it's definitely a warning sign that there may be greater extremes ahead of us. But looking at the past 2-3 years time range, it's definitely a relatively bullish extreme that can be seen. The Australian dollar is our next market. We have a 33% change in commercials positions over there. It's a huge change if you look at the chart. It is, of course, a currency where usually we expect smaller changes from week to week. It is, of course, a bearish COT change signal, no question about that. But before anybody goes on to act on it, I would suggest you to have a look at the 5 years chart, because we are actually just moving away from all-time COT extreme levels, and that COT extreme, if you've watched my review last week, you may remember that I said it was a all-time COT extreme in all market participants' positions. So stating that, knowing that fact, I would be very cautious with any bearish trade, knowing that we have this 33% change and 38% change bearish signals in these traders' positions. The extreme is definitely there. It is bullish, so that's the main COT signal that we should be watching. Cocoa is our next market. We have a 29% change in commercials positions over there. Bullish COT change signal, no question about that. Pretty large one in small speculators. Let's open the 5 years chart and see how extreme this market is becoming. Well, actually, we cannot talk about a significant extreme at the moment. We are moving away from bearish extreme levels. If you look back on the chart over here, basically throughout 2014 we were seeing bearish extreme levels, and maybe the reaction from price came a bit late, but it did come, and I think we're still taking its effect. So it's really the change size that may affect prices, I would say, this week. The cocoa market. Moving on to large speculators COT extreme, we've got rough rice on top of our list with an all-time COT extreme in large speculators position, so pretty large extreme to talk about. But if you look at the chart, we are just gradually getting to these larger extreme levels, and we can also state that we have been at these levels for quite some time now with any major reaction from price. Of course, if you look at last week's price reaction, we had a very nice rally last week, so this may we may come to the conclusion that the decline is over. Well, I think that's up to you to decide. There's no question about the bullish COT extreme situation present in rough rice. Orange juice is our next market with 601 report extreme in large speculators positions, 606 in commercial, so pretty decent extremes in orange juice. If you look at the chart, I'm trying to show you some major COT extremes, bullish ones, of course, in the past couple of years. And you may see how well this market has reacted to these extremes. So I would say that having this very large extreme present, and not only in commercials and large speculators, but if you look at small speculators, they're also at pessimist levels, or they haven't been so pessimistic about the market for quite some time now, and I think that's also a very good bullish signal to see. Lean hogs is our next market. Opening the 5 years chart, we may see this 97 report extreme. What's interesting to see is I believe only small speculators are taking the bearish side of the market. So both commercials and large speculators are net long at the moment. We had that case a few times maybe in the past, not that often actually. But it's definitely a warning sign, and even though we have this very steep and dynamic decline in the market, I would suggest you to pay attention to the COT report. It may not be a all-time or close to all-time COT extreme signal, but it is definitely a reasonably large one that we should be taking into consideration when analyzing lean hogs. Okay, that is going to be all for this week. I hope you enjoyed this review, and I hope to see you next week. Have a great weekend. Take care. Bye-bye.